I'm Jane Bakari. I also do what is called Applied Behavioral Analysis, ABA. And I also did a master's in clinical educational psychology with UZ. So, as McLean has said already, we're going to discuss about the antecedent modifications. So these are the things that we do before a behavior occurs. So these are the actual actions that we take. So we're referring to the behavioral intervention. Now this is the practical part where we take different steps so that we can modify the behavior. So usually what we want to do when we're talking about the antecedent modifications, we want to increase the desirable behavior, like McLean has said already. So those are the behavior that are socially acceptable, and also decrease the undesirable behaviors. So under antecedent modifications, so we have what we call, number one, we have FCT. I'll talk more about that one. And then we also have visual schedules. We have the talking system. Number 4, we also have the sensory diet. Okay. And we also have the social stories. So we'll start with the first one. So FCT refers to the functional communication systems that we use as antecedent modification. So that's FCT. So here we have 2 FCTs that we use. So we can either use the PECs. Here we have the PECs, PECS. So this is Picture Exchange Communication System. So we also have the phone applications that we use. So now I'll explain more on PECs. So we say these are the Picture Exchange Communication System. So here we're saying that usually most of the kids with different conditions, most of them are nonverbal. So here we're trying to use pictures for them to be able to communicate their needs, right? So we're saying this one is an antecedent because we're giving them something to use for them to communicate their needs before a tantrum occurs or a meltdown occurs. So I have an example of a PECs with me here. So this one is an A5 file. So what we do is we take pictures of the things that the child usually uses at home or at school. So we might have even 1 or 2 PECs. So this one is an example of a home picture exchange communication system. So here we'll just take pictures of everything, be it potty, be it the food that they use at home. So here we have pictures of the tissue, the towel they use. We have different pictures of even the locations. It can be outside, it can be their bedroom, it can be the kitchen, the dining. So like I said, the pictures of the food that they use. We can also have pictures of the objects that they usually want to play with. So here we have the iPad, we have this game toy, and we have a cup. We can also have the plates and everything that they need to use. We have the soap here. So what we do with the picture exchange system is we want the child to know how to communicate using this when they are not yet verbal, right? So instead of them crying for going outside, we can just teach them to pick up the go picture, give it to us, then we'll let them go, right? So now we can avoid the incidences where they will be eloping from an activity. So we just say to them, after they have done with an activity, we can just show them their PEX file, then we would then prompt them. So prompting, like Maclean said, we are just helping the child know what is expected of them. It's just an aid we give to the child. So in this case, the child needs to pick up the go card, give it to you, he can point, then look at the picture, then you can let the child go. If they want to go to the potty, they can just pick up the potty card, give it to you, look at it, then you can also pay. Like when we are doing this picture exchange system, there is a myth. Usually many parents believe that if you teach them this communication system, they may not be able to talk. They will rely on this these pictures only, which might not be true, because this one facilitates verbal communication. So like what I said, there is what we call pairing. So when the child picks up the picture, gives it to you, you need to say the word so that they can make an association between the word and the picture. So for example, for this potty picture, I'll just use this potty picture. They'll pick it up, give it to you. So when they give it up to you and look at it and point, you need to say potty, potty, like what Maclean has said. They will be learning, and one day they'll try and say the sound. So you can even say per potty with them. So they might not repeat that word there and there, but with time they will associate the word potty with this picture potty. So even for food, when you are giving them, you shouldn't be quiet. You should be talking to them all the time. Like for water, if they give you the water card, you point, he points at it, and then you say water, water, so that they'll start making that association with of the word water with this picture, water. So when we say that, if we try and give the PEX picture, they won't be able to talk. I don't think that one is very true, because in the process, we would then teach them the word, and in the long run, we would then we would want them to say the word again from after some time. So at first, it will be just pointing, but after some time, we want them to say the word, right? Yeah. So that is for the picture exchange communication system. And also we have the phone application, right? So for the phone applications, we have applications such as the touch chat, right? It also works almost the same as the PEX, like the file that I've referred to. So this is just an application where the child will just press on what they want. So for example, it will also have the vocal part, such that the child, when they press, it will talk back to them. So they can even press on the word I want, then they will go to the page that they want. Is it the location? Is it the type of food that they want? Or is it the object? Then they will just say, I want phone, or I want apple, or I want to go outside. So that phone will talk back to them. So this one is also good for communication. So, so generally that is it about the functional communication system. So here we're just trying to teach them to communicate in a functional way, in a more functional way, so as to decrease those undesirable behavior. So we can give an example that Maclean gave. So John wants sweets, right? Then he cries. Then he cries, then he gets the sweets, right? So Maclean said the behavior of crying will increase. So here we see that those tantrums, the meltdown will increase. So what we're saying about antecedent, we're saying that we are putting measures in place before that crying occurs, so that we teach the child the proper behavior to engage in before they do the crying. So here, like the example that I gave, before John cries, you can give them the PEX file. So let's say, for example, they want the chip, they want the porridge. John wants the porridge, right? But he cries, then he gets the porridge. But we don't want the behavior of crying. So before John cries, so we say, like we said, please remember that antecedents, we do them before the behavior occurs so that we reduce the undesirable behavior. So now we are applying the PEX file before the crying occurs so that we reduce the crying. So for John, before he cries, you give him the PEX file, you ask him, what do you want? Then you go with him on the picture of food, if he wants the food. Then you help him take the picture of food out. Then he takes the picture of porridge out, he gives it to you, he points it. Then he looks, then you can give it to him. When you say porridge, you reinforce those words so that the child begins to associate the word porridge and this picture of porridge. So by so doing, you realize that next time when John wants the porridge, he will just go to his file or his device using the application like touch chat. So he will just know there's no need for me to cry. I can just go on my device, press the word I want, then I'll go to the page for food, then I'll just press food. And also take note, like what McLean said. First, there is what he called, referred to as prompting. So we don't just do this overnight, like we just give the child and tell them, no, if you want the porridge, you need to pick up the picture porridge. So at first, we need to teach the child. So we can put one picture here so that he understands that this is the picture. You can make an association of the porridge and the picture porridge here that we can have here as one picture. So with time, they will know the pages and they'll just flip the pages. But it needs patience, like what McLean said. With time, they'll start getting the idea that I don't have to cry. I'll just pick up my picture, give it to auntie, give it to mommy, then they can just give me the porridge, right? Yeah, I think that is, those are the two examples that I have for functional communication system. So for this one, I would like us to do a demonstration. So I think maybe we'll use two people who are here for the demonstration. So one will be the child and the other one will be the mom. So just pick two from the ones who are physically present here. So we just want to do a demonstration. So when they're done with the demonstration, then we'll just explain some of the things that are really, that we need to take note of when we are teaching the child the picture exchange communication system, right? Yes. Okay. You can come and stand here. Okay.
Wait. Okay. Yes. What do you want? Color. What do you want? Color. Color. Green. Green. Do you want green? Green. Can I take the color? This is the color. The color. Yes. Color. Green. Green. Okay. Can you show me again what you want? Color. Can we take it off? When you want something, you remove it. You have to remove it. And then you give to mommy. Green. Green. There you go. Let's put it back. Then you do it again. When you want a crayon, you don't cry. You take the color and then you give it to me. So you can take this and give mommy. There we go. Green. Well done. Color. Bye-bye.
So we'd want to discuss about, just a brief discussion about this scenario. So what have you observed? Just a question to those who are physically present and those online. What would you want to comment on this scenario? Mm-hmm. Anyone? Okay.
It was fun.
There is someone who said it was funny. Okay. Anyone? Yes?
Repetition is important to get the desired results.
Okay, so here someone said repetition is important to get the desired results. So before I forget, so the last thing that I noticed, the first thing that I noticed is that when they asked, she wasn't given the color. They just left the color. Maybe they just forgot. So remember what McLean said. If a child asks, if you help them to ask, you need to give them, right? Because they've asked nicely. So if you don't give them the item that they were asking for, you are just teaching them that communication is nothing. So when we're trying to do the picture exchange communication system, we are trying to teach the child that communication means a lot, right? So for us, she talked about one trial, one response. So once you have taught a child to ask, even if it's paired with a prompt, that's help that we talked about, you need to give them a reinforcer there and there, right? So even if you help them to pick the card, give it to you, you need to give them the reinforcer there and there. So if it's an assisted trial, that is a prompted trial, we need to give them a reinforcer. If it's a correct independent trial that they did by themselves, we also need to give them a reinforcer there and there, so that they make an association between doing what is good and being given the reinforcer. So I'll just ask one person to come again. So for PECs, I think we need to do a demonstration so that you really understand like the correct thing to do, because for our kids, we really need to teach them how to communicate, because most of them, they'll cry because they don't know how to say the word, right? Maybe you give them rice instead of macaroni, right? Maybe you go with them outside, but they want to watch TV, but they don't know how to communicate. So this picture exchange system really helps our kids to air out the things that they really want, right? So something that I can also say about the communication system, we can also put words, right? Like this. This is the word done, right? Okay, we can also put the words like yes or the word no in our picture exchange communication system, right? So that when they don't want something, right? Sometimes you ask them, do you want the green color? Then they can just pick up the yes card. They'll say yes, right, to you, but they don't know yet how to say yes. But they can just pick the yes card, show it to you, right, and say yes. If they don't want it, they can just pick the no card, show it to you, and say no, right? So all those things, if they don't know how to communicate nicely to you, it will result in tantrums, meltdowns. So we really want to reduce that. So I will just call someone, then we'll do like just a demonstration of how we really need to do the PECs. So Uncle McLean will be the parent, and I will be the child. And I want a color, the color green, but I don't know how to say green, right? So we're now working on the PECs file, right? Hello.
Okay, do you want the green color? This one, take it. Okay. Now the second. Good girl. Now the green. Very good. Get the green color. Well done.
So what happened here is, so at first the parent had to give me a prompt. So I didn't know how to use the pictures, but they had to physically hold my hand, then take the picture, then I gave it to the parent, then I had to point, right? And then the parent, remember the parent was also saying green. So that one is pairing so that the child make an association between the word green and this color green. So with time, I'll begin to know the word green. I can even say something like green in the process, still fine for a start, right? So then for an independent response, when we will know that the child now knows what to do. So just do a trial on that one. So when the child now knows how to use a PEX, so the reason why we need a smaller file, this one is an A5 file. So if you can find something smaller, even smaller than this, that will be fine. So when the child knows how to use a PEX, I'll just go to the parent, I'll just go to mommy, I'll just go to daddy, sorry. Then give them, then I'll open my file by myself, because now they now know how to discriminate the pictures, right? I now know which one is the picture of the color through the prompting that I've done, that the parent have done previously. Then I'll go to the picture of the color, give it to the parent, point. I can also try and say, the child might also try and say the sound, k, 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 which is fine. So usually what I want to say about this one, k, k, k is fine, or any sound is fine. We don't have a no for, when we're teaching the child to speak, we don't have a no. We don't normally recommend the parent or whoever is helping the child to say no, because it will discourage them from talking. So just point, k, 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 or I can even say color. So remember, immediately, the parent is supposed to give me the color, right? So that I'll make an association between asking for the color and getting the color, right? Yes. So that was it about the PEX file. So the same applies for the phone application. So normally you buy it online. Phone applications like the touch chat, you buy them online. But the way you use it is just almost the same as the PEX file that we have demonstrated here. I think that is all about the FCT.